Welcome. This is Jim Gentili. I'm here with my fellow podcasters, John, Peggy, Beth, and Shelly. And we are presenting our end of 2025 episode, which is quite significant because as of this recording date, which is December 17th, 2025, we have 2 episodes that we've recorded that have not yet been published. So my guess is that this episode will be published, if at all, by the end of 2026, in which case the predictions we're going to go later will already be, ex post facto. Seriously, though, John, briefly explain to our eager audience why there's been a delay and why, when we do roll out, they're likely to get 3 episodes right in a row.
Because I'm busy. I'm very busy with little children and bad technology.
But no, there's a technological switchover we're involved in.
I had an old computer, and I was having when we switched to YouTube, because we were required to do so because everything is video now. Video first. So we had to go video. When we switched to YouTube, I had to start managing very large files, and my computer couldn't handle it. And I started freezing up and things didn't work. And then it just took a long time to get a new computer. And then when I got the new computer, some things didn't carry over properly. Final Cut Pro is not what I found is Apple products don't carry over well for themselves. Like all the other stuff worked great, but for some reason the Apple software on the Apple product didn't really.
I've heard that before,
well.
Actually. That is not
so that was unique, so it did like other things carried over just fine, but like Final Cut Pro,
so you have
and
to
the files,
reinstall everything. Basically.
And it wasn't just that. I lost data. Like I lost our intro and our outro and our logo.
The 2 episodes that we recorded.
Well, I thought I lost the episodes too, and then I found out that because our hosting software that I was upgrading, I was trying to simplify life by using a more simple post-production method, but the more simple post-production method necessitated changing some things on the software we use to record podcasts. And in the course of so doing that upgrade, I thought we lost a whole bunch of files, which I have now discovered were just under like a little box that I didn't know was there, and I have now found
the data.
So we have all the data. We got all the data.
It will get published. Now, I also want to point out to people, I know half of you think that I am completely making up the story about the lost episode that now it was recorded over a year ago.
Was it before Trump was elected?
No, it was right after Trump was elected.
Okay, right after
the post-Trump analysis.
Yeah, we got to watch that.
We did record that. Is that lost, or is that ever going to come out?
No, I think it's all. I don't think we've lost anything.
Okay. At this point, it would probably be hilarious to see what we said because it was over a year ago, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, as I pointed out earlier, the current mode of the podcast, which is we're recording them but not actually publishing them, is really Peggy's most desired wish, is that no one ever actually hears the podcast we record. So on that note, what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about how we feel about 2025, each in turn. My fellow podcasters are going to take a short quiz, a 5-question quiz, and then we're going to do some predictions. Now, in the talk about 2025, 2026, if you guys have your own predictions you want to make, that's totally fine. But we will also be making some predictions on things that can actually be measured, so we can actually determine if we are right or wrong, or how wrong we are. In any event, we're going to start off with my friend Beth Shannon.
So you missed the comment where Peggy asked if she could go first?
No, I did. I'm sorry. Why do you want to go first?
Well, why don't we find out?
Peggy, go first.
I would like to go first, and I would like to say one of my low points of 2025 is tonight.
Because you're recording a podcast. No. That's always a low point for you, right?
Tonight/today, 2 reasons. The first and most important is that it's John Heinz's birthday.
Oh, dear God.
And that's always a low point?
It's a low point. No, I feel like I've always sent him a card, and maybe I only missed it when I lived in Sudan or Uzbekistan. I always send him a card, and this year I did not send him a card. And then
Grand Rapids is kind of a third world country too, so right?
Then honestly, it's because I was 34 minutes late for this podcast. So
That's crazy.
it's a double low point. So I feel horrible on both accounts.
Oh my heavens.
Yep.
Well, Peg, John did mention a fancy espresso machine he's looking
Yes,
at.
he does
Oh.
So
need a
you
new
could
espresso
do that
machine.
to
Contribute to
make
that.
up
get back
for
in his
my-
good graces.
I should point out that the last time we recorded a podcast, about 6 weeks ago, not that it matters to our listening audience because they haven't heard it yet, but about 6 weeks ago when we recorded a podcast, John didn't show up at all on the recording date because he was having too much fun at an amusement park.
Oh.
And so we had to reschedule it, which caused me to have to change my plans.
Thank
Not
you,
my version.
Jim,
That's
for
not
that.
Maybe
That
you
quite
makes
my
should
me
version
feel
of the
so
better.
story.
guilty about John's birthday.
Yeah.
Okay, so
not-
that's some low point. I could probably, if I thought
Think of another one. Why
some
don't
more
you?
low point. Well, no, I actually was thinking it was a bummer that I did not send John a card this year.
I love your cards.
So
How about some high points, Peg?
all right, well, Jim reminded me because I was stressed out about what's a high point. And he reminded me that, I hosted a very, very successful backyard concert. Super fun. We want to do it again. It was late in 2025, September. So I think that counts as late. Late 2025.
Okay.
So that was definitely a high point. I
Back
felt
in
really
63.
great about how that all turned out. The turnout was amazing. The band was happy. They said they'd come back. So maybe we'll do it again next year and you guys can all come and maybe we could do a live podcast.
For sure.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
So
Yeah,
any
give us
thoughts other
notice.
than that for 2026, Peg?
What's that, Jim?
Are you looking at forward to
Yes.
anything else for 2026?
Oh, well, that. And then let's see what else is happening in 2026.
What else?
I have a new grandchild coming in 2026.
That sounds like that's a potential high point.
Yes.
Very
Yep.
exciting.
Due at the end of March.
Very
So
exciting.
that's a high point. What else? I guess that's it. We don't have really any plans. We're
Okay.
not planning ahead of like any amazing
You
trips
not
or
planning
anything.
ahead, Peg? Shock. I'm shocked.
Just trying to
Actually, there are probably 3 trips they're going on that Peg has just not written down and she's forgotten about. But that's
For
another
sure,
story.
actually.
That is a
it's
chance.
highly likely. Highly likely that's true.
All right.
All right.
She's
That's
like,
it.
oh, I
Beth
forgot to
Shannon.
mention we're going to New Zealand. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Beth Shannon, it's your turn. I know that you actually know where you're going next year. So when we get to that part, you'll be able to tell us. But go ahead.
So the highlights were definitely the trips I took this year because they were with friends. I went to Croatia, I went to Japan, I went to Maine, and just it was something I mean, I love to travel, as you all know, and just if somebody invites me someplace I want to go, or there's someplace I want to go, I tell others I'm going, and just seize the opportunity. And partly I did that for my own mental health because I'm just still so freaking down about the state of the world. And so I hunker down in Poughkeepsie and I go for hikes and then I travel with friends, and that kept me somewhat sane through the year.
Yeah,
And again-
and the when you say you're down about stuff, I mean it just keeps coming.
Yeah, it doesn't stop.
It never
For
stops.
context, because we don't know when people are actually going to hear this,
So it
Doesn't
just
December
keeps
17th
coming.
of 2025 is after a particularly heart-rending weekend.
Yes.
The weekend before is the weekend when there was the mass shooting in Australia on the beach, is when there was a mass shooting at Brown University, and when there was a tragic murder of Rob Reiner and his wife. And, it's just, for any decent human being, it's just a terrible confluence of circumstances. And not to mention all the other bad things that have happened in 2025
The war
on
starting
a
with
global
Venezuela.
or national
Right.
perspective. But this past weekend
Yeah.
is just the kind of thing that really
starting-
can make you heart sick.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to
Terrible.
even
It's a
elaborate.
terrible
on that.
time. Agreed.
I will say that another highlight, as you guys know, I moved to Poughkeepsie, and it's been harder to adjust than I was expecting. But one of the reasons I moved here was to be more involved with my niece and nephew. And I got to go to all of my nephew Logan's football games. And I raced back from DC last Wednesday for the football awards ceremony, and he got the Defensive Most Valuable Player award.
Awesome.
And the coach made a 3-minute speech about how great Logan was and what a team player and leader. And he invited me. Usually it's just immediate family, but I had also volunteered at the concession stand for several games. So I was a legit invite, but he reached out specifically and asked me to come. And that was definitely a highlight.
Congratulations. That's a great highlight.
That's got to be, your heart must be very full from that, Beth.
Very full. Yes, it was a wonderful evening.
And you just want to leave your general lowlights being the state of the world as it is, or do you have any other that you wanted to mention?
The state of the world. Yeah.
Well, and I guess I also am really curious, since you've kind of put a teaser out there about your move to Poughkeepsie being harder than you thought. I'm curious. I mean, is it because you're not there very much, or is it because you are there?
Yeah. Good question.
Yeah, I was going to say, the listeners of this podcast may be in the impression that Beth was basically traveling the entire year. So how would she even know that Poughkeepsie is harder to be in?
No, it was harder because I knew I went to college in DC, mostly lived in DC post-college.
Yeah.
So I had a huge base of friends, both from school and work.
Sure.
I moved to Poughkeepsie and I'm working remotely, and none of my projects are local. So it's hard to just meet people, make new friends. I've made some friends. I go out to dinner on Friday nights with some of my neighbors. I'm in 2 book clubs. I'm starting to learn how to play mahjong.
Wow.
Oh, fun.
Wow.
But like I said,
looks hard.
It's a good brain test for me. But it's just like I haven't found, like I was down in DC last week and I just immediately I'm back with my friends, and it's like it just picks up right where it used to be. So it's just, that was really a surprise for me, that it just took, and it's still taking time. I haven't really found my people yet.
I feel
So let
like
me ask
it's
you this
hard.
question, Peggy.
Sorry, Jim.
So your niece and nephew graduate from high school in what, like 4 months?
Yep.
And they're going to be off to school, college soon thereafter.
Yes.
Is there any possibility that you're not going to stay in Poughkeepsie long term?
Well, originally I had thought about moving again, but now I've sort of settled on I love the area. The Mid-Hudson Valley is spectacular.
It's very nice. It's a lovely place. I've been up there to visit you, and it's very nice. Yeah.
And it's easy. Like last Friday, I took the train down to New York City to meet friends for a holiday happy hour and took the train home. That was easy. I'm closer to my friends and family that live in New England. And I also have a nicer place than I've ever lived for less money. So it's like, use this as a base camp and just go travel when I need to get either a cultural fix or family of choice fix or whatever. So I think this will stay my base camp. And I also ran for the condo board and got elected.
Hey,
congratulations.
You poor thing. You poor thing.
That seems like a low
low point. Oh,
Yeah.
God. Oh,
Well, that could be the low point next year when she's actually serving on the condo.
Right.
Anything you're looking forward to in particular next year?
Well, I'm going to Greece in May with my friend Barbara.
Where?
And then I'm flying to Paris and meeting my sister and my Aunt Kathy, because we promised Aunt Kathy 5 years ago when she was 83 that we would take her anywhere in the world she wanted to go except Ireland if she sold her house in Western Mass and consolidated. So she did that.
You bribed her.
And it took her...
Why
we bribed her.
except Ireland?
Because she's an Irish history professor and goes at least once a year for the last 60 years.
So in other words, it wouldn't really be special to go to Ireland for her.
Right.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Or us, because we've both been there with her. So we are now going to meet up in Paris.
You're not criticizing Ireland or anything like
You're
that.
merging the Greek and the Paris trip, or are those separate trips? I'm sorry, I missed it. Is that one flight over?
Yeah, one flight. I'll fly to Greece, do 2 weeks in Greece, and then 5 days in Paris.
So smart. Oh, super smart.
Mhm.
Great planning.
So
everyone bow to my jet lag needs.
Yeah.
And what Peggy doesn't realize is she's actually on that trip. She's just forgotten about it now.
I wish.
All right, let's go to John.
Really
Well, I just want to say I have a lot of the older I get, the more I am getting settled in Chicago and near to family, and I'm just like content, and I really am. And those of you, Jim, Beth, who have made these moves, I have incredible respect, because I mean, I moved a lot in my life and I enjoyed moving and everything, and I probably would enjoy it again, but I'm not, but I know what you're giving up. You are definitely, it's real. So kudos to you.
For me, it's mainly giving up the Copper Canyon restaurant, but that's another story.
Can
John,
I say
2025.
WTF? Wait, can I say WTF? Why just Jim and Beth?
They've moved from their long.
Shelly and I left from Chicago.
That's true. You went back home.
Yeah, but I get it.
You and Shelly and I all went back home.
Oh, I didn't
John's
go
point
home.
is Beth and I both at.
I've never lived
not
here.
Not to say that Beth is certainly not as old as I am, but
I didn't know that,
at
Shelly.
relatively later points in our life, we moved to places we had never lived in before.
Okay. Well, that's fair. But I was
Shelly
going to say,
in that group too.
I don't think he's criticizing you.
I do think it's
Shelly
hard to meet people when you are older.
Mm-hmm.
And even though this is my hometown, I left it in 1989 to go to college, and I moved back in 2012. And there were still some people here. Anyway, and Shelly's same thing.
I think the difference between the two of us is you go into a facility, a workplace facility,
that
and
makes a big
get
difference
friends
too.
that
The
way.
social life, and
that does make it.
And I've worked
that makes a big
remotely
difference.
since moving to Indianapolis, where I've never lived before. I'm from Indiana, but never lived here to know the city and everything.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
So
that's fair, Shelly. You've not only done the new place, you've also done the remote, which is part of a larger cultural.
I agree.
Yes.
I think that
everybody. A lot of people are in that.
I agree. I think that my experience, if I were working at a job where I went to work, even if I went to work 3 days a week, I think it would be a lot different experience. I think that would be true for you as well, Beth.
Yeah, your socialization. Yeah, sure.
Totally
Which
different.
is, we could get in the whole thing about the future of remote work and why it's maybe not as clean a thing as sometimes people look at.
It's
But
so
John,
hard.
you've diverted from us, you telling us about the good and the bad and the ugly of your 2025.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. I mean, the good this has been the most fun year of my life.
Okay, why?
Bad,
you have to be more specific. Why?
My two kids, they're the best.
Okay,
I
but
love it.
are there any particular things that you would call highlights?
Why this year versus last year?
I totally believe that your kids are the most important thing, but what's the particular highlights?
They're both, okay, so the younger one is now fully potty trained.
Okay.
Like he hasn't wet the bed anymore.
That is,
like, there's no,
when you're a parent, that is a big
so
highlight.
Diapers ended in 2025 for me, and I've been
that is a big highlight. As
it is a huge highlight.
That's how you can afford the espresso machine, John.
That actually,
and I was, we have a friend who does like cloth diapers, and dear Lord, I mean, we didn't do that. We did, but so you feel bad environmentally, plus the expense attached to it.
That's one thing
plus
where
the lack of
environment's
ability
just
to
going to have to take the hit,
ability
as far
to,
as I'm concerned.
Everything, and then they've also both hit the age where we don't go out much because frankly we like to be home and we like to cook at home, and I'm enjoying home. Like
it also
I've
helps that Ted
home.
is like a world-class cook as well, or chef, or whatever.
I go to restaurants and I'm always like, I would have rather stayed home and had Ted cook. I'm almost every time. There are very few restaurants where I don't say that. But the kids can go out now, and I can take them out, and they'll sit at a table and eat with us. And that's just
your kids were never that bad at restaurants. I've been to them when they were younger, and they weren't that bad at restaurants. You're just you're hypersensitive about how they are at restaurants.
That's probably true. It's probably
what else?
That's the good.
What else?
So the bad, The bad is I think it is the state of the world. I mean, I still remember my dear friend Francois Elou, who is from Paris but has been living in London now for a long time, it seems like, he and his husband. And I remember Francois saying to me the first time Donald Trump got elected, and maybe Brexit happened. Which happened first?
What?
Brexit or Donald Trump getting elected the first time?
I think Brexit was 2015, wasn't it?
I think Brexit was
first. Was 2016, actually.
Okay.
So it was really close. But I remember at that point, my friend Francois saying to me, like,
Brexit came before Trump got elected.
That's what I'm asking.
Question.
That's what I'm asking. That's my question. Okay. So my friend Francois said to me, I feel like the world that I've lived in has ended. And I remember and it's just stuck with me. And it just does feel like that. Like there was this feeling of optimism and hope and growth. And I mean, I guess I'm a cosmopolitan. That's maybe a naughty word to say today or something, because you're like, the idea that I value the lives of people in other countries as much as I value Americans or and that I want the whole world to be richer and happier and wealthier and more peace. Anyway, and it's the fact that this year has just gone down the toilet. I mean, I don't know. It's impossible to read the newspaper and not just come away more despondent, and yet feeling more obliged to stay on top of it, because I feel like somebody needs to be counting. I can't turn my back on it and say, oh, whatever, or just look away. So I'm looking at it, and it's just a very bad time. So I think that's the low. What was the third category?
What are you looking forward to 2026?
Yeah, 2026, I'm looking forward to travel. We took the kids skiing last year in Michigan at a little tiny place near Kalamazoo that we loved. And we took, I don't know if I've told this story before, but we took we gave them both a half-hour lesson, and we weren't sure if they were going to like it. It was their first time on skis. And we went to lunch after. I mean, they didn't say anything after the lesson, but they were on the slopes and they were kind of doing things. And we went to lunch, and we're sitting down having like hamburgers and fries in this big lodge. And this is in Michigan. Nothing, this is not fancy Colorado. We're sitting in Michigan, and all of a sudden, Ren, our 5-year-old, turns to us and says, "Daddy and Papa, could we buy a house near here?"
Aw.
And that's when I was like, oh, they like skiing. So we're going to take them skiing again in a couple of weeks. And I'm hoping
they like
we're going to take a trip to mountains. Yes, because I love mountains. So I want to, that's like, I just want to show them like the world can be in 3 dimensions.
Absolutely.
Come to GR. Come to Grand Rapids and stay at my house. We have a ski lodge here, 20 minutes from my house.
Okay,
it's not...
All right.
Am I invited too, Peggy?
Mountains?
Of course.
You
it's
have
not
a bookstore near your house. I remember
it is.
that.
Listen, I am so sensitive to invitations now
size.
to stay with people, because I was the king of the like couch surfer, right?
Yes, you were.
And now I feel like I'm showing up with an entourage, and I can't ask
John,
anybody
I would
to stay
love
with them.
nothing more.
And I know you guys
You're
say that,
out
but
of your
like,
mind,
it's
John.
really
People want
different.
to see
It's
those
just
kids.
so different, the
John,
mindset, because you're like,
I guarantee
you know just how
they'd rather have
chaotic
the
it is.
kids than you.
That's not true.
Probably true.
But I would definitely take
it is
the
hard.
kids and
Beth,
you and
if
Ted
you were
to
under
go
sodium
spend the weekend.
pentothal, I don't know if that statement would pass. Let me say, my friend.
I like spending time with John and Ted too,
Of
but
course,
I would
didn't
certainly.
say you didn't like spending time with John. I just said if you had to choose.
I would happily watch the kids while they had a weekend in the city.
I see. Okay, that's your diplomatic
That was
way
a
of saying the
very
same
polite
thing I just
way.
said, right? All right, that sounds great.
That's hilarious.
Anything else, Johnny?
No.
All right, Ms. Shelly.
Okay. So my low highlights, lowlights for 2025 is a pretty obvious one to the 4 of you. My company shit on me, and I was part of a riff of reduction in workforce where all the medical people, the senior tenured medical people, were let go. And now I'm finding out that the new leadership is bringing in people that they knew from other companies.
No way.
Shocking.
Probably would have been better if I hadn't known that, but
Yes.
that's okay. So that happened on October 31st, my favorite day of the year. Halloween's my favorite. But it didn't change that. My perspective of Halloween. So that was definitely for me the low light.
It sucks, Shelly.
Yeah, thank you. I'm doing fine. I'm going to figure life out and figure out what I want to do.
No doubt you will.
The highlight of my life in 2025 was I pretty quickly sold my house in August and moved in with Ian, who has been a guest on the podcast.
Romance.
And own part of this house, and we're in the process of redecorating it and creating this beautiful life together. So that's definitely
Ian feels
the
about
highlight.
You coming in and redecorating his house.
It was a mutual agreed upon thing, because the way the house was set up was not conducive to actually living, but more for a waiting room space for the business that used to be run out of this house. So
was it drugs or women that he was running out of the house there, Shelly?
The drugs. Okay. Drugs. Not he wasn't, but somebody else was.
Somebody was. Okay.
Yeah. So it's all good. It's great. The redecorating has definitely stopped for now, given my job situation, but and that's my decision. So it's all good. I think the other big highlight of the year was a trip on the Rhine, a wine trip on the Rhine with
Wine on the Rhine.
Yes, it was fantastic.
You should talk a little bit about that, because normally we would have a whole episode to download a trip like that, and we didn't have it. So you should spend a little extra time talking about that trip.
Okay. So a friend I've known since 6th grade, and we've been in contact over the years, on and off, more off, honestly, than on. When I traveled for work, he to Springfield, Missouri. That's when I first met his wife. And then we've just stayed connected. Well, they moved back here to Indianapolis, and we have been friends, doing things, going to Colts game. And long story short, he has a group of people that he invited to go on this wine trip on the Rhine to get, there you go. Yep.
Visuals we're adding here, because as John said, everything is video now.
Yep. And that's Mark and Deb and Ian and me in the hat. So he had friends from, couples here, Springfield and elsewhere. And we were nervous about going, because going on a trip with friends sometimes can ruin the friendship if you don't all travel the same. And there was excursions and things that you could do, but we didn't want to be connected to the hip, to anyone, or have anybody be offended if we decided not to join them for something. It couldn't have worked out more beautifully. We all got along. We were all kind of the same snarky, sarcastic personality. Quickly we're teasing each other. The last night of the trip, Ian was up until 3 a.m. talking to them. I had visions that he had fallen overboard because there was heavy alcohol consumed by all. And he wasn't. He was just enjoying himself and this group of people. So it was amazing. I can't say that Ian and I learned much about wine on that trip, even though we tried and we attended, but we saw beautiful things, amazing castles. The people were unbelievable. It's a wine cruise, a cruise in general is usually not my thing, and he'd never been on any cruise, but I would 100% recommend this. It was top notch from start to finish. So yeah, November. Ooh. Yep. On the castles. November is when we went, which you would not think it would be ideal to go.
No, I wondered that. It wasn't.
Yeah,
was it?
It was great.
Cold, but it
wasn't terrible. Yeah, we had layers and merino
There's no
wool.
Bad weather, only bad clothing.
Exactly. Merino wool and all the right shoes.
I beg to differ.
I love Beth and Shelly.
I always have bad clothing, and there is definitely bad weather.
We the first week was sunny and fairly warm. I didn't have to bring my heavier coat out. The second week we were there, it was a little rainy, damper, a little chillier. So we triple layered up. The other great thing about the trip is Ian's one son lives in Zurich, and the boat took off from Basel area. So we got to spend time with them on the front end, and then his other son lives in Amsterdam, where the trip ended. So we got we were able to have family time on each end. So
where in Amsterdam?
Where do they live in Amsterdam?
Yeah, like right in the center or like out a little bit?
Oh, out a little bit.
Okay,
yeah. Because we went to their house and we took a little train that's out. Beautiful. And spent time with the granddaughter and everything. And it was great.
Move to Europe, Shelly. Move to Europe.
Yeah.
All right, Shelly, what about 2026? What are we looking forward to?
What are we looking forward to?
Or what are we not looking forward to? What are we?
Well, she's starting her own consulting company.
Yeah, I'm exploring what I might do. But my old, let's see, three bosses ago, because I've had 5 and 5.5 years when I was working. He approached me this week about a potential opportunity that wouldn't be exactly what I was doing, but it's still like a blank slate. So it's still kind of very grassroots, starting something from the ground up, but yet it's already part of a structured kind of a startup, but a little further along than a startup, somewhere between there. So that's really got me excited. And then I'm exploring all this entrepreneurial idea that I have and doing a lot of research. So I've been keeping busy. But the biggest thing that the prediction for 2026.
Sure. You love to do predictions, Shelly.
I think my biggest prediction, and I thought about this before tonight, but that Peggy will remember the day and time of our podcast without anybody reminding her. That's my prediction.
I would bet money against that myself. What are the odds? What kind of Vegas odds could I get on that? Because
I have faith in her. I have faith
in Peggy. If I were ill and I needed someone to care for me, I have faith that Peggy would take care of me. And I have faith in Peggy for a lot of things. But remembering the day and time of the podcast without being reminded is not one of them.
Jim, that touches my heart because I would take care of you.
I know you would. I'm not joking about that. There are many things I totally have faith in Peggy for, but that's not one. I mean, look,
Shelly,
if somebody said, I have faith in Jim that he'll dress properly for the occasion, that's ridiculous. I won't.
That is ridiculous.
That's not the thing. There are some things, hopefully, people have faith in me for. That should not be one of them.
I'm also grateful to Shelly for saying she thinks I'll be better in 2026. That's all we want. Is I think we're going to be better
Peg,
in 2026.
you get better
whether we are or not.
Yes, exactly.
But we love you the way you are, so we don't need you to change.
I
Can
also
I do a sidebar?
Oh wait, I have one more. My other prediction is that Wicked for Good will win the Oscars.
Okay, you mean Best Picture?
Best Picture, yeah.
Okay,
have you seen it?
No, not yet.
I have not seen it yet either.
I've just thrown it out with the hype.
Okay, so can I do another
Yes, you can.
Highlight?
Even though you were late, yes, you can.
So Shelly can relate to this, and this is weird because we're not a sports oriented podcast, but a highlight in 2025 is that IU won the Big Ten championship.
Right, for the first time since 1967.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing. So
and
fun.
First time ever that
the first time ever in school history that IU is the #1 ranked football team in the country.
And the first time ever that a Heisman Trophy winner is from IU.
And that I don't know anything about him except I watched a little bit of his speech and then I saw a little bit of an interview he did for 60 Minutes. He is a very impressive young man.
I
don't know how good a quarterback he is, but he's a very impressive person.
He's good.
Yeah,
you should listen to the whole speach because
that's what I've heard. I will. I mean, he's he's like 23 years old or something. He's a little bit older because I think he transferred schools. But I mean, he's very, very self-possessed, very, very well-spoken for most average 23-year-olds. So
right.
I mean, I've known a few 23-year-olds in my time. He is.
So what does it mean
very
winning the
impressive
Big Ten? Does that mean you go to the Rose Bowl?
Yes.
Yes.
First of
They're
all-
going to the Rose Bowl,
Yes.
and I'm trying to
IU is
convince
Not
This is
anymore.
Shelly
but I
to
guess
come
maybe
with
they
me.
are, but
They
really
are.
now the bowls are sort of obsolete because they have
Okay.
this football playoff. So the main thing is that they don't, because they're the number one seed, they have a bye for the first round, and then they play. So they're the number one seed. So if things go to whole according to the rankings, they will be playing for the overall championship sometime in January.
So I was trying to channel John Heinz from 2010 even. Let's just go to 2010. Let's not even go to 1999. Let's just go to 2010.
Because
And
they
I
were in a
texted-
party.
Yeah,
1990.
exactly. And I said, Shelly, let's go to the Rose Bowl. Even if we can't get
I
tickets.
remember you texted that to the whole group.
Yes,
I
I was
know.
like, let's go to Pasadena, and
Yeah.
if we can't get
Pasadena's
tickets,
cool. I like Pasadena.
we'll go to a
LA.
bar and watch it at a bar.
I know it's
'cause
not
we all
LA,
have
but it is LA.
miles.
Oh, you can probably get tickets to the Rose Bowl.
That's what I've heard. Day of, you can get cheap ones.
First of all, the stadium is huge. It's like
Gajillion.
100,000 people. The Rose Bowl is not. You probably can get tickets at the last
And
one.
the weather's great. It's always
Because
great.
IU is
LA.
probably never,
What's not
ever,
to like?
ever,
You could
ever
visit
gonna
John
go back.
Gentili.
I don't
They-
know if they
probably-
hold on to this coach they have. They'll be good for a long time.
He just signed a long-term.
Yeah,
I
well,
know,
that doesn't
but-
mean anything
contract.
because they all sign
know.
long-term contracts and then they leave
Exactly.
in 2 years.
But
I know.
aren't the players also like different now with all the money?
with the portal.
Well,
and
the players
the
have much
NIL.
more freedom and are actually getting somewhat compensated for what
Not
they're doing,
somewhat.
which is
Some of them are making over $1 million.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Yeah.
That's because the free market says that somebody wants to pay them that much money.
Yeah.
And Shelly, if somebody
Yeah.
wanted to pay you $1 million, that would be great, wouldn't it?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying when you said somewhat getting paid, it's more than somewhat.
What I would say is that the schools want Congress to pass a law which would basically allow them to regulate that. What they really need to do is do what professional sports do, which is to recognize that these people are not students primarily, but they're employees,
Yeah,
and they
then
should
just
have a
fall in
union.
line.
And because the NFL and the Major League Baseball and the NBA and NHL all have unions, they're allowed to set rules, but they have to be negotiated with representatives of the workers. And that's if they want to put regulations on how people get paid in college football and college baseball, that's how they should do it, not have Congress pass a law that basically will allow them to stiff the students, which they've been doing for the past ever many years.
Forever. Yeah.
That was a court case, right? That's the reason that this all changed.
Well,
it was a court case originally.
The NCAA prevented them from earning any money whatsoever.
Yeah. That was a good decision.
And they said you can't do that. You have no right to do that. You can't prevent someone from making money.
Right.
Hold on. Anyway,
It's great.
That's the editorial.
Very exciting. Good.
All right. Well, before we do that, we have to do the quiz, and you'll understand why in a minute.
Oh,
So
boy.
I was trying to think of a good quiz subject, and I was really tempted to do a quiz about Donald Trump. But I decided that rather than do a quiz about Donald Trump, I would try to find someone who was slightly less loathsome than Donald Trump, but still pretty loathsome. So after a little while of reflecting, I realized that the subject of the quiz should be me. So tonight, you get to answer 5 questions about me, and we'll see how well you do on these questions. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
First question. How many books did I read for the first time in 2025? Beth says 120. By the way, the winner will be the one who gets closest without going over.
159.
Who said that? Peggy?
Yep.
Peggy says 159. John?
No, I want Shelly to go first.
All right, Shelly, you go first.
180.
180.
I say 1.
Say 1.
Nice.
So John is saying all of them have gone over. Interesting. Okay. How many movies that I had never seen before in a theater setting did I see? Now, just so we're clear about this, This doesn't count movies that I had previously seen in the theater, but I saw again.
Okay.
Just like that didn't count books that I
Okay.
reread.
Okay.
But it does include movies that I may have seen on a television screen, but I'd never seen in a movie theater. Does that make sense?
So
Yeah, but that's not very helpful.
sometimes,
Yeah, it's
like
not very helpful.
if they showed Stand By Me in the movie theater,
I've already seen that in the movie theater, but yes, that
but you
wouldn't count.
saw it. Oh,
Well,
it
I'll give you
wouldn't
an
count.
example. I saw a movie several weeks ago from 1962 called Sweet Bird of Youth, starring Paul Newman and Geraldine Page. I had never seen that in a movie theater. I'd seen that on television or on video more than once at home, but I had never seen it in a movie theater. So that counts. But if I had seen a movie before in the theater and I saw it again, it doesn't count. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So how many movies did I see?
It doesn't give us any clues.
Okay,
Well, I mean, just so you know.
It makes it harder to guess.
62.
62, Peg
How many
says.
movies in 1 year? All right.
40, who said 45? Beth said 45.
What did Peggy say? Did she say 50? She said
62. John?
I
gotta
say
go
I'll
for-
say
Oh.
70.
70. And
52 is Shelly.
1 a week.
52
1 a
for
week.
Shelly.
Good guess, Shell. Like
Okay.
She doesn't
All
like
right.
Shell.
Next
She
question.
doesn't like Shell.
I know. Shelly.
Next question.
It's okay.
Last year, at the end of December, I weighed 195.1
boy.
pounds.
Wait,
So
say it again.
I weighed 195.1 pounds.
Okay.
So the question is, what does my most recent weight now? Have I gained any weight? Have I lost weight? And if so, which way? How much?
I'm going to go with 187.
So you're saying that I have lost 8.1 pounds.
I'll say you lost 12 pounds.
John is saying 12. Beth is saying 13.1 pounds.
Beth does have an advantage over all of us because she sees Jim more regularly, but
Probably fair. Go ahead.
I
Shelly.
say 16 pounds.
Okay. Wow.
Nobody thinks you
Okay.
put on weight.
All right,
That's
now-
interesting.
As you know, I've lived in New York City since October of 2024. How much is my monthly rent?
Oh boy.
I'm going to
Is
go
it
2,600.
Okay. Who else?
3,200.
32, John?
Yeah, 32.
Okay. What did you say, Beth? Okay, Shelly?
24.20.
Say $1.
Very close. All right. Now, this last one is multiple choice. I'm going to give you the names of 4 famous people. One of these people shares my date of birth, although not necessarily in the same year.
Okay.
Okay? Is it Carrie Fisher, Tom Hanks, Kamala Harris, or Kim Kardashian?
Carrie Fisher.
I was going to say Carrie Fisher.
You can both say the same thing.
Dang it.
You can also say Carrie Fisher if you want to.
Okay.
I say
So
Tom
you're saying
Hanks.
Carrie Fisher as well. Go ahead.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks, says Shelly. Beth? Carrie Fisher, Tom Hanks, Kamala Harris, Kim Kardashian. Okay. So let's review the correct answers in reverse order, starting with the date of my birth. Now, Tom Hanks and Carrie Fisher were both born in the same year I was born in, but not on my birthday. Actually, Carrie Fisher was born the day after I was born in
Dang it.
1956.
Huh.
And
Trick
also
question.
born on October 21st, but not in 1956, was Kim Kardashian. The person who was born on my birthday, 8 years after I was born, is Kamala Harris.
Wow.
Way to go,
interesting.
Beth. Way to
Wow.
go.
Good one.
Okay. All of
Uh,
you overestimated how much rent I pay.
Really?
the closest, although she was over, so technically we can't award points for this, was Beth Shannon because I pay $2,300 a month per it.
Yeah, see, I feel like Beth has some, because I'm sure
Beth just has a better memory. I'm sure I've told you all this before.
Beth sees you and talks to you about this.
Yeah, we don't talk about my rent, by the way. Okay. All of you grossly overestimated how much weight I lost.
Oh.
Again.
So I win.
Peggy was the closest with 8.1 because I've actually lost 5.5 pounds this year. I'm down to 189.6.
Very good.
Okay. All of you grossly underestimated how many movies I've seen in the movie theater.
Underestimated.
Grossly underestimated. Peggy wins because she's the closest, but she's not even close. I have seen 140 movies that I've never seen before.
Almost
so
3 a week.
Far in 2025.
I'm so envious of that. I haven't seen a movie in a movie theater in like 2 years.
I know you have small children, John. That doesn't count.
I would. Okay. At the start of this podcast, I texted my sister and I said, if anybody's thinking of getting me a birthday present or a Christmas present or my husband a birthday or Christmas present, we want someone to watch the kids so we can go to a movie. I don't know why. I look at you and I think about movies.
Shannon's raising her hand.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys were much closer on the books, except for John, who was way not close. What did you say, Shelly? I can't read what you wrote down.
I didn't write it down either.
Did you say 124?
Wait, I gotta jump in. Jim, do you go? How far do you travel? Do you go to the same theaters over and over again, or is it a wide variety of them? So you're at the same theater almost 3 times a week?
And they show old movies there?
But there are days, for example, where I'll see 3 or 4 movies in a day.
Oh, you see 2 or 3 in a day.
So and they show old movies at your movie?
Yeah, they do, but they also show a lot of new. I see a lot of new movies too. Okay.
I
Shelly,
didn't write it. I don't know.
Can't read, but I think you said 124. Does that make sense? Or?
That sounds good. I didn't write it down, and
anyway, if Shelly said 124, which is what I think, because I can't read my own writing. Beth said 120. The actual number is 128. So you were both very close.
Ooh.
Wait, what was this question?
How many books I've read? New books that I hadn't read before.
What did I say?
Jesus. You said 159, which is an overestimate.
Okay.
So you obviously think I read a lot more than I go to the movies, but I actually see more movies than I read books.
So I got that right because I was closer.
Yeah, you're the closest. So you get that. You get the points for that. And Peg gets the points for the other one. So
Peg
basically, Beth and Peg and Shelly each get 1 point. It's a 3-way tie. John, you're hopeless.
Well, what can I say?
I would say one of the highlights of 2025 for me, in addition to losing 5 pounds, was that when I went to go visit Beth in Poughkeepsie recently, I got off the train and first Beth berated me because I went to the wrong side of the train station to get picked up. Okay. And then the second thing she said to me was, you have to get a new belt.
Oh, yeah. We saw the picture of your belt.
That was the second thing she said to me. You have to get a new belt.
Thank you for...
After she berated me about getting off the wrong side, she berated me for my belt.
Berating is the right word. It could just be giving good advice.
I was pretty much of a berating, I would say. By the way, Beth is a great host, so I don't, as you can imagine. By the way, I don't mean to say Ted is a great cook. Beth Shannon is also she cooked a terrific shrimp dish on Friday night, and then she made some terrific bacon and eggs Saturday morning. So it was a tremendous. I'm so glad I went. It was a lot of fun. She took me to see Vassar, and they have a terrific little art gallery on the Vassar campus.
How far is Vassar?
Is that still an all-girls school?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that close.
As is Marist College is very close, and the Culinary Institute is right there too. So Beth lives amidst all these institutions of higher education.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if they're ever looking for a facility director for one of those places, they have it right here. She's going to tell you which side to get off of.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Is to get off on the river side. Right. And of course, is it difficult to believe that I spent the entire trip reading and not looking at the views out the window?
100% for sure. Yeah. Outdoor.
That's
I
how
should
you
have
read
known
100.
that was the riverside. Logic would have dictated it was the riverside. So Beth was probably right that I probably wasn't thinking carefully when I did not get off on the right side there. But
all right,
so
well,
I
you
probably
convinced me.
deserve that. And
we'll be having a
I
Henley
did get a
trip.
new belt, which apparently passed muster. And
did you get some new shoes too?
I'm in the you missed this. We talked about this the recording,
sorry.
which is I did buy a new pair of sneakers, or trainers, as they would say in England.
Very good.
And they are great, except that I got the wrong size. I need to get a size bigger. So I'm going to take them back and get a size bigger.
So you threw the old belt away, right?
No, I still have them because I need something to wear until I get the right size.
God. No, the new belt.
Oh, the old belt. I think Beth burned it. Or
okay, good. Okay, I just want to make sure because keeping it is.
Yeah, no, I did not keep them.
Good.
I don't understand why you would need more than one belt anyway. So
oh my gosh, I have a lot of belts.
Oh my god!
To match my shoes.
I only,
and
as
your
you know, have 3 pairs of shoes. So, and none of them are slippers. So, on that note. Yes. Oh, you can't. I did try that, and it's obliterated.
You can't see it.
And secondly, I'm not so sure they weren't 9. I think it's possible that I've been told that this is a possibility that as you get older, sometimes your feet actually get bigger or something, or you need a bigger size.
I heard about horses and teeth. Yeah, I didn't know that.
No, I don't know. Well, my teeth are not getting bigger according to the dentist today, and he did say that I did okay, but he wants me to do a better job flossing and brushing. And the technician suggests that I get a water pick, so we'll see. I might get a water pick.
Those are awesome.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to getting a water pick. It seems like it's okay.
Mm-hmm. So wait, did we get Jim? Did we get your high and low?
Well, I told you about the belt, of course. One of my highlights was I got to be present for the first time that podcast host Beth in person met podcast host Shelly in 2025.
That was in 2025?
Yes, it
in
was.
person. Yeah.
Man, that felt like 2023. That's how
life moves so fast.
That's how 2025 has flown. I feel like it's crazy. It was the craziest year.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's the year you guys met.
Yeah,
we did.
They met in New York City.
All right.
Along with Rob.
Rob, friend
Rob
of the
was
podcast.
there as well. And it was a lot of fun. We just hung out for like 2 or 3 hours in the afternoon. You guys were on our way to a party. And it was nice of you to stop. And we had a great time.
It was a great time.
So now we all know each other because I met Beth.
Now
Beth
we have
in
all met
New Orleans.
IRL, as they say.
In real life?
Yes.
Peg, you must have at least one New Orleans trip lined up for 2026 already. You're there like every 3rd week.
No, fortunately, my work meeting is not there this year.
Oh,
in 2026.
I was going to say, if we all wanted to meet sometime in New Orleans, I wouldn't object to that idea, by the way. But,
all right,
have you been there?
Oh, yes, I've been there several times.
Okay.
Good eating.
Yes, for sure.
And good music, too. I want to mention that thanks to my friend Peg, I did go see someone I was not familiar with at a live performance of Nico Case at the Beacon Theater in New York City.
We saw Nico Case playing in Albuquerque.
You did, John?
We were in New Mexico. It's the only trip. My husband had a conference, so we went. I took the boys and we went.
This was this year?
this was the only plane I have been on a plane twice since the pandemic.
Okay.
This was the second time, and it was in October, and we were driving by and I can't be sure, we were driving by a theater and it said Nico Case on the front, and I meant to look up if it was actually Nico Case, but I think it was a live performance in Albuquerque. Is that possible?
Yes, it is.
And I thought of you immediately, Peg, but of course,
Did you go to it?
Did I close the loop on it or do anything about it? No, nothing.
No.
Nothing more. That's the extent of it. Became
This
an
for our
Jim-
listeners who, if they ever hear this episode, wonder why sometimes this podcast is disjointed. It's because many people in the podcast spend more time on the group chat that goes along. We should probably publish the chat sometime. So one of the things I noticed is that people are talking about visiting each other, and Beth is talking about that she has a guest room, but she put a guest room instead of a guest room, which is kind of funny. I thought. So
you have to guess which room is the room.
So, Jim, you saw Nico Case and you liked her, but you took a book and you read. I will tell you, the entire time.
I don't think I told this story, but it's been so long. Who knows? Maybe I've already told this on a podcast. I was at the Nico Case concert. There was an opening act, and then there was like a pause of like a half an hour or something before Nico Case came on. So, as is my wont, I brought a book with me to read during the downtime.
Sure.
And I was reading at the time a book about a biography of Senator Charles Sumner, who was one of the most passionate abolitionists in the 19th century. And I knew something about him, but I didn't know a full biography of him. And so I was reading this, and I'm standing waiting outside. I was just, decided to get up, and some young woman. And by the way, I would say the attendance at the Nico Case concert was 85% women. Says, "What are you reading?" And I said, "I'm reading a biography of Charles Sumner." I get this reaction all the time because nobody ever sees anybody reading an actual book in public spaces. It's like, so if you're in the library or something, but like if you're like, I gotten this reaction several times, like on the subway, somebody says, "You're reading a book," like, but anyway, I said, "It's a biography of Charles Sumner." Who's that? I said, "Well, he was this, abolitionist, he was very advanced in his views about racial equality and stuff." And so the woman said, "Oh, Nico Case would like that." Oh. So there you go. I guess I was in tune with Nico Case that night.
In Paris, when I lived in Paris and went to movies all the time, everybody read a book in line waiting to get in the movie theater. Everybody had a book. You got there early, you lined up, and everybody had a book.
It was. We all used to read books more. It's true. Now we listen.
I'm doing my best to make up for the rest of it.
Now we listen to books, and I hear you, John.
And again, I'm not putting down listening to books because it's a different way to consume it, and that's totally fine. If that works for a lot of people, I think that's fine. So
I do both.
Shade. Well, it was probably be something that I lost. Like recently, I lost my laundry card just after I put like $30 on it. Something like that. Probably.
Oh, that's horrible.
Wait, but wait. I was hoping one of Jim's 2026 positives was going to be at some particular Broadway show or off-Broadway show or something.
I could talk about that. I had great experience seeing, with our good friend Beth Shannon, seeing a terrific version of Our Town starring Jim Parsons.
Oh, wow.
Which I'd never seen on the stage before, although I'd read it, of course, and seen it in different film versions of it. I saw just recently, for the first time, saw Jonathan Groff on stage. This was a week ago. Saw Jonathan Groff on stage as Bobby Darin in Just in Time, which was delightful. He is terrific. I mean, I've seen him in TV and movies and stuff, but he is terrific, very dynamic. It was a good show. I do like the music of Bobby Darin. I saw
Mac the Knife.
Mac the Knife is probably his most famous song, but not his only song, by the way.
The one we all know.
You've never heard of Splish Splash?
I was taking a bath.
And how about Beyond the Sea?
Yep.
Beyond the Sea. My favorite Bobby Darin song actually is a song called Dream Lover, but that I don't know if you guys are familiar.
Is that
no, that's a different
sing
song.
it, Shelly.
That's
sing
a different song. That's Dream. That was originally by the Everly Brothers. All I Have to Do Is Dream. That's a different song. Dream Lover is Dream Lover, where are you? I will search the whole night through.
Okay, Jim.
Got it.
God.
By the way, there are some people who think Bobby Darin sings that song better than I do. Hard to believe, but some do feel that way. So yeah, no, and I
Nice,
saw two terrific plays, which I talked about previously. One called, which particularly sticks in my mind, called John Proctor's The Villain, which is a really
Ooh.
interesting play.
Sure. That's all the rage.
That talks about the Crucible, but also talks about the whole Me Too movement, and very interesting and funny and charming play. And then I saw the very last performance of Nicole Scherzinger in Sunset Boulevard, which was exciting. I got the last ticket for the last show of Nicole Scherzinger in Sunset Boulevard. So that was kind of cool.
That was cool. I
Jim.
saw it 3 days before the last one because that weekend I was there to see you and Beth. That was when I saw it with Rob, and Rob was part of that production.
Right.
He was involved.
Right. And so Rob had said, and I believed him, that there was never going to be any tickets on TKTS for Sunset Boulevard. So I went to TKTS that Saturday, and I had not even thought about it because I didn't think there was any chance. And it was on the boards. I said, maybe
great.
there's a chance. So I get up there and I said, is Sunset Boulevard still there? And she goes, we have one ticket left.
No way.
That's great.
How much?
So I got it. It wasn't even that bad a seat either. It was like on the aisle and stuff.
How much did it cost?
I don't know. 120, 100,
Okay. Was it worth it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, plays are expensive.
That's
Musicals are
what
expensive.
theater
It's
costs.
it's
the
the
best.
reality of it. I
The
mean, that's
best.
a discount ticket, 100. I paid a full fare for the Bobby Darin ticket was like $275.
Wow. That's why
so-
you're wearing crap shoes and have a crap belt.
No, I don't think you could blame it on that, but that's nice of you to try to come up with an explanation. Yeah. Anyway. So anyway, that's it. That's what we got. Now we have our predictions for 2026. And I am going to write these down and hopefully I can read them. And we're going to go in order that I specify, so nobody has to go first each time.
I think that this group, Beth, Shelly, John, Jim, Peggy, are going to be in person for a podcast in 2026.
I would even be in person even if we didn't do a podcast.
That is my prediction.
That would be a great thing.
2026.
That would be a great thing.
I already gave my predictions.
We're going to actually do
this
some
already.
predictions. Like I'm going to ask you for some predictions that are actually quantifiably measurable.
What he asked you was for like, what do you hope?
But that's fine.
Something.
You can do a personal prediction as well. That's fine.
I did. Okay.
So here's where we go. Here we go. So according to the most recent Gallup poll, Mr. Trump's approval rating is 36%.
Abominably high.
I think we can all, at least all of us on this podcast, would agree that's too high. 1 is too high, in my opinion. But here's the question. Where do we predict it will be in December 2026? Do we think it'll be up, down, and by how much? You have to quantify. We will start with Beth.
How much up is what you're asking?
Or how much down, if you want to say it's down.
Right, or down. But I meant...
But how much?
Are we...
You care about the change or the number?
Or the number. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Okay.
So down 2%? So down 2%.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to write a -2 there. Okay, Peg, you're next.
I think it's going to be to 47%.
You think it's going to go up 11 points?
I do. Because
Okay.
I think the stock market's going to go up, and I think he's going to...
Ever the optimist.
Yep.
I'll go next. I will say it is going to go down 3 points. John.
Down 10.
John, down
Love it.
10 comes strong.
Hope John's right.
Shelly.
Hope John's
And
right.
I say up 3 points. So,
Up 3.
Yep.
Not quite as pessimistic as Peg. Okay. Right as of the most recent report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the unemployment rate in the United States is 4.6%, which is the highest it has been post-pandemic. Where do we think it will be in December 2026? Up, down, and by how much?
Who starts?
This starts with Peg.
I think it's going to be 37%.
What?
You think the
down.
unemployment rate is going to go up
No,
by
it's going
over
down.
30 points,
It's
and
gonna-
Trump will be more popular than he is now?
No, I think it's going to go. I think unemployment's going to go down, and I think Trump is going to be more popular.
So you think it's going to be what? Down to 3.7? So you're saying it
Yeah.
goes down 0.9?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say unemployment is going to go up 1.4%.
I think unemployment's going to go up. Excuse me. I meant to say up.
And how much is it going to go
As
up?
opposed to down.
Yeah, no, like people are going to be unemployed.
Okay, but
More
then
people
nonetheless,
than now.
Trump will be more popular.
Yes.
That doesn't track.
Yes.
Okay.
No, it does
0.9
because
how much do
rich
you think it'll
people
go up,
don't
Peg?
care.
Peg, how much do you think it'll go up?
5%. 5%.
5%. That's a lot, Peg.
I'm
Yeah.
doing it.
Okay, I think it'll go up 1.4%.
If
John,
it's-
you're next.
I think it'll be 4.6.
So you're saying
Which
up.
is what it is.
No, you're saying even. Okay. No
Stays.
change. Okay.
Yeah.
Shelly.
4.8. Wait, what did you say?
So you're
Is that what you
going, it goes up 0.2.
said? Yeah.
And Beth. So up 1.1. Very good. Okay. All right. The next one, I will go first. Right now, the current annual inflation rate
Oh boy, I knew
is
this was coming.
3%. That means averaged over a full year, prices are going up 3%. What do we think it will do? Where will it be a year from now? I'm going to say that the inflation rate next year will be 4%, so it's up 1.
And we can't guess the same as you.
Yeah, you can
what
guess
you're
the
saying?
same as me if you want.
Because-
John,
5.
it'll go up 5 or it'll be at 5?
It'll be at 5.
Okay, so you're saying up 2. Shelly,
I'll say 4.2 because I was going to say
so
4.
you're
but
saying
I-
up 1.2.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying inflation going up. Beth? Up 1.5. Okay, go ahead,
down.
Peg.
Stay down, Peg.
5.1.
So in other words, inflation will go up 2.1%. Employment will go up 5%, which is a serious
Ridiculous.
recession.
That's
It
like a
will be
recession. Yeah, it
9.6,
sounds
which
depression.
would be like the recession of 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
Yet Trump will be 11 points more popular.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
would be interesting.
So we all need to take money out of our accounts and put it in.
And
some
somehow that'll
safe-
make Trump more popular.
Yes.
Okay, we'll see.
Because
Okay,
his
as of right
followers
now,
are idiots.
as of right now, the composition of the House of Representatives is there are 220 Republicans, there are 213 Democrats, and there are 2 empty seats, vacant seats. Those 2 seats were held by Democrats. So assuming those 2 empty seats were filled by Democrats, or you don't have to assume that if you don't want to, you need to have 218 for majority. So the Democrats would need a net pickup of 3 in the midterm elections to take control. Do we think the Democrats will gain seats in the House next year? And if so, how many will they gain? And for this one, we are starting with John.
7.
So
Gain.
net gain of 7, Democrats gain slim control. Shelly,
I say gain 3.
gain 3 and get it on the number. Beth, 17.
Wow, great.
Peg,
I'm going to go 6.
6. Wow, very conservative.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say that the Democrats are going to gain a net of 60 seats.
I hope you're right.
Wow. Wow.
I'm expecting a big wave election. Now,
Wow.
the Senate,
Wow.
the current lineup, effective lineup, leaving aside the independents and all that jazz, but it's 53 Republicans to 47 Democrats. For the Democrats to regain control, they would need to gain 4 seats because the vice presidency being held by the Republicans, the 50-50, the tie gets broken by the vice president. So will the Democrats have a net gain of seats in the Senate? And if so, how many? We start with Shelly.
I don't think they gain.
Do they lose?
They lose 2.
Net loss of 2, Shelly says. Okay.
Nice.
Then Beth. Stay even. Peggy.
I was going to go even also.
Okay. I'm going to say the Democrats have a net gain of 7 seats. I'm expecting a big blue wave. We'll see if I'm right or wrong.
Wow.
Go ahead, John. You're last on this one.
Net gain of 1.
Net gain of 1, so the Republicans maintain control. So 4 or 5 of you think that Republicans will contain control of the Senate. Everybody seems to think the Democrats will gain control of the House. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
That is our official predictions for next year. By the time this podcast comes out, we'll probably know the answers to all these questions.
The reason I love Jim is he actually will hold on to that information.
I will.
There's no chance I would have this in
It'll
December
be fun to go back and see.
I know it will be. I love that you're going to have.
I mean, also, awesome. By the way, if we actually publish this episode, I won't need to hold on to it because I could just go listen to the episode and see.
Yeah,
what we
well, Peggy will rewatch
or
episodes,
even
but you don't.
If we were really being advanced technologically, when we did this episode next year, you could play back what we said, John, and we could hear ourselves say.
Oh, yeah, that's
all right. Very good. It's been a bad week. Anybody have anything to say before we close out the year?
No, but I'm grateful for you guys pushing me to get here, and I'm embarrassed that I haven't gotten the prior episodes out, so I'm thrilled you guys got me here.
I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you guys, and
figuratively and literally.
100%. I got a text from John at the bar. Where are you?
Yes.
And I just want to say, I know apparently we did the Rob Reiner bit on Beth's bit, but Stand By Me is one of my favorite movies to this day. I just rewatched it a year ago, and I think it holds up, and good friends, and whatever else it represents. And so
it's kind of an evergreen, evergreenly beautiful. I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really sad. So that's it. Who's taking us out?
All right, I am taking us out, and I'm going to talk about a little bit about Rob Reiner, but specifically,
sorry.
I want to talk about it in this context. There is a column in today's New York Times by Bret Stephens, who's a conservative but not a Trump lover, and it is about this and the reaction to it.
Yeah.
I'm going to read not the whole column, but I'm going to read selected parts of it. Markets will not be moved or brigades redeployed or history shifted because Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner were found stabbed to death on Sunday in their home in Los Angeles, allegedly at the hands of their troubled son, Nick. But this is an appalling human tragedy and a terrible national loss. He then goes on to say, their liberal politics, though mostly not my own, were honorable and sincere. He then goes on to quote in full the horrible, offensive comment that our president made about Rob Reiner's death. And he says, I'm not going to do that. I quote Trump's post in full, not only because it must be read to be believed, because it also captures the combination of preposterous grandiosity, obsessive self-regard, and gratuitous spite that deranged the Reiners and so many other Americans tried to hold on to a sense of national decency. Good people and good nations do not stomp on the grief of others.
Yeah, but they sue the BBC.
History will record that the deepest damage done by the Trump presidency was done. Foolishly imposed tariffs can be repealed. Hastily cut funding can be restored. Ill-thought-out national security strategies can be written. Shaken trust can be rebuilt between Washington and our allies. But the damage that cuts deepest is never financial, legal, or institutional. Manners, according to Edmund Burke, are what vex or soothe, corrupt or purify, exalt or debase, barbarize or refine us. Right now, in every grotesque social media post, in every cabinet meeting devoted North Korea-like to adulating him, in every executive order signing ceremony intended to make him appear like a Chinese emperor, in every fawning reference to all the peace he brought to the world, in every neuronic enlargement of the White House's East Wing, in every classic dig at his predecessor, in every shady deal his family is striking to enrich itself, in every Washington White House gathering of tech billionaires paying him court, in the literal senses of both pay and court, in every visiting foreign leader who learns to abase himself to avoid some capricious tariff or other punishment. In all this and more, our standards as a nation are being debased. Our manners are being barbarized. As Trump was unloading on Reiner, James Woods, probably the most outspoken Trump supporter in Hollywood, remembered Reiner as a godsend to my life who saved his acting career when it was a low point 30 years ago. I think Rob Reiner is a great patriot, Woods said Monday on Fox News. Do I agree with some of or many of his ideas on how that patriotism should be enacted? No, but he doesn't disagree with me either, but he also respects my patriotism. Woods is right, but how will we ever regain that spirit in this country?
Yes.
Let's hope for 2026 we can get back to some decency.
Yeah, here.
Goodbye.